Hey guys, finally I think it's live. How are you all? Good to see you there. Just looking at the connections. Can I get some thumbs ups in the chat? Just so I know that I'm good. I'm pretty sure there's a 20-second delay. Apparently it shows my connection is excellent, so that shouldn't be a problem. Can you guys hear me? Pretty good, Christoph. It's been really long time since I streamed. I think the last time I streamed was for last year's Nodevember, and this is the next stream, so I'm pretty excited to do that. It's awesome. I don't know how long I'll be streaming. It's around 1 a.m. for me, I think. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. almost. So it completely depends. So I think I'll start in a bit. Hey Tuba, how are you? I'm just looking at the chat, so everything is fine. Okay. So the prompt is six-sided. Generally, obviously, when I think about six-sided, there are a lot of stuff, but one thing that came to my mind is obviously honeycomb. So last time I saw many people trying out honeycomb for that, but I really wanted to try that, but I couldn't try it last time because in between I think I gave up. So this time I did. I already did one in Houdini, but today I'm not gonna use Houdini. It's in my Instagram if you want to check that out, or else it's on my Twitter. I just posted that. So that was done in Houdini because I really wanted to learn Houdini. So okay, I think I'll do the same thing, but in Blender today. So technically, let's start with texture coordinates. Okay, let's so I already have a default setup. This is for materials. I think I did this one for materials and it's still there. So I have a procedural shading, lighting, compositing, and rendering. So this is my general workflow. So for procedural shading, I think I'll be doing this. To be honest, I wanted to add geometry nodes, but I don't really like this interface. I didn't know which I am actually comfortable with, so I didn't put that in my defaults yet. So, hey, Pradyumna, hi, how are you? That's nice to see you here, man. Okay. Let me see if everything's working. Yep, let's start with UV coordinates. Vector math, so obviously the first step I always do is center everything. So once I center that, I'll scale it by 2 so that I'll get the -1 to 1 gradient along both x and y axis. So you can always visualize gradients using a separate XYZ node. So if you want to look at x, this is how x, let me turn on the overlays. The red channel, which is basically x-axis, and the green channel, I'm not sure if it's visible, but the green channel is the y-axis, and the z channel or the z channel is basically blue channel. You can't see anything yet because it is lying on a ground and it's just a plane. It doesn't have a dimension. Hey David. Oh, nice. I think we spoke before once, maybe in the streams, I think. So to be honest, I didn't want to make the stream, but luckily Arendelle is not streaming today. So I asked him if I can stream. He was like, just do it. And he gave me some good, push up. So I thought I'll do it. So it's a hexagon, right? Let me just draw a hexagon. I'm drawing with my mouse, so it won't be perfect. So there are several ways to do a hexagon, but then one easy way that I always find is to basically draw two lines. Like, this is one line, right? So I need to get this line, and I have this line, which is this one. So I need to get this line, and then there is this one, which is basically a mirror of this one. So it'll be something like this. So once I get this, these two are the same line. So I need to basically make three different lines. And you guys should know that. Let me just draw this and this and this. We can find this angle theta, so that if we know this angle or either this angle, we can draw this line, right? Because y equal to mx. This is the equation of a straight line where m is the slope. So where m is also is tan theta. I'm pretty sure like not many people will understand this, but this is just for my reference. So where tan theta is the angle that is made with x-axis. So this is theta. So we need to find this theta, but you don't have to remember any of this stuff. I'll first make it and then explain it to you later. So let me just check chat real quick. No. I think I'm making I already made an entry for prompt 4. So I just wanted to do it in Blender again and maybe share the process with you guys. And yeah, luckily, because generally he streams daily, right? Today he's unfortunately, this is unfortunate because he's sick. His throat is not fine, so I thought I'll just do instead of him on my channel. Please. You need an aura using geometry nodes, what is that called? Northern Lights? I think it's possible, but then it's more easier if I do it with shader nodes. And if you're talking about the aura that I did in, if you found that in my Instagram or Twitter, then I did that using Houdini. So let me add a vector math node. I need this function called dot product. So we have this vector, right? So 1 is basically the vector 1, 0, 0 is basically along the x-axis, right? Because 1, 0, 0 lies here, somewhere there, right? Let me just 1, 0, 0 is here. So this gradient is pointing along this direction. And if I put 1, 1, 1, 1 is here, right? 1, 1. We don't need the z-axis here. That's exactly why I'm not talking about it. So 1, 1 is here because this is 0, 0. So now the gradient is pointing along this direction, if you can see that. So technically, the easiest definition of a dot product is it gives you a gradient that follows the second input, you could say, considering the first input should be the texture coordinates. If that makes sense, just let me know, because this is the easiest way to describe a dot product. There's a technical term, but then I don't think so that's useful for now. Oh, hey Interpixel, good to see you here, man. I'm glad I'm not the only one using shader nodes. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was using geometry nodes for the first 2 prompts, but then I shifted to Houdini for the third one. And then now, again, I use Houdini and Blender together. Just for the stream, I'm doing it in Houdini. I'm doing it in Blender. And I don't want to use geometry nodes because I don't really feel comfortable using it yet. So, and this angle, you don't have to remember this, but just know that 0.5 and square root of 3 is this values, sqrt of 3. You can do this, and by 2. Now technically this gradient, this is basically this. I'll explain it later, just give me a second. And then let's do a math, vector math and absolute, and take x-axis gradient and absolute this. Finally, let's use a max node. Okay, x. I'm sorry, I got used to Houdini for a bit. This and this. This is technically a hexagonal gradient. I'll tell you what I did now, but for better visualization, let's add another math node and change it to subtract. There you go. I'll explain everything in a minute, but this is just for me to get started quickly. Yep. So we have one hexagon. Yay. Okay, so this is useful. Now I need to tile it, but before we go into any of this stuff, let me explain what I did just now. So as I told, dot product gives you a gradient. Let me just mute the absolute too. Gives you a gradient along this the vector pointed along the vector it's pointed basically. So I'm defining a vector which is perpendicular to this line, right? So the vector that I gave is basically this one. So here again, this is a right angle. You can find the angles here. You can find, because it's a hexagon, the internal angles and everything. You can do the math and you can get the theta, but tan theta will give you the slope of this line. Once you get the slope, you can use this equation to get the, get the line. Instead of all that stuff, that's exactly what dot product is doing too. So I just gave this vector which is going along this line to give me the gradient that is perpendicular to it. Oh yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I hope I won't butcher it. Krieta, I did make the same thing already in Houdini, but then I really wanted to try it in Blender. So what you guys all been up to? I think most of them are participating in Nodevember. If not, you should. So now this is giving a gradient that goes from -infinity to +infinity. So this line is where the value is 0, and all these things are positives and all these things are negatives. But before that, to mirror this along x and y axis, I can do an absolute node before that, because all the negative values will become positive. So let me just draw something real quick here. Okay, this is not a straight line, damn it. Okay, just assume that this is a straight line, right? So this is positive, that's good. And we have some negative values in this quadrant, and we have only negative values in the third quadrant, and we have the negative values in the y-axis in this quadrant. So if I make everything an absolute, this will basically mirror this first quadrant in all the three axes, right? So let me just unmute this. So basically I got the same gradient in all three axes because it's mirrored now, because all the values are basically inverted but in the other direction. So now I got this one, and then there is another line, right? So we got this line and this line. The final line is this one. This one is basically y-axis. Y-axis is nothing but x equals to 0, or x. Oh god, what just happened? X equals to 0, right? What I mean by 0 is basically just connecting this to the output. That's basically what it is. So now I have the gradient along the y-axis. But again, this is mirrored because this line is even here and also here. So I can absolute this to basically mirror it. And then when I take an absolute maximum of this gradient and this one, I'll get the hexagonal gradient. And when I subtract, I get, the subtract a value, or else technically this is basically inverting. Okay, what I did here is basically inverting the gradient. Look at this. And maybe put a subtract node. This is exactly what I did here. I just inverted the values. Anyway, this is just one grid. we need to tile this. Oh yeah, thanks, Upatom. If you guys want to learn more about the vector math, there is a series that I'm making. I released part 1 few months ago, and the part 2 is almost done. I have to post it. Probably in the next 2 days I'll post the part as well, second part. In the second part, I'll be covering all the functions that are here, like absolute, minimum, maximum, flow, seal, fraction, modulo, wrap and snap. These functions will be covered in the next video. I'll be going a little more deep there, but this is just, I'm just having fun right now. Hope you guys are too. Wow. Okay, now let me see how to tile this. There's a cool way, I think Vanis Malphite did. I'll just pause the tutorial here because I don't want to explain it again. It's Malphite. Let me just, hopefully this comes through. This is how you can make a hexagonal grid using 6 nodes. So I'm just going to do that. Let me just do this. Scale it another 5 times, I think. I kind of like the new node background. What do you guys think? So there is a node called wrap. What wrap basically does it takes 2 values, a minimum and a maximum, and repeats this range continuously. So let's say I'll give a minimum value of 0 and a max value of 1, right? So this is along the x-axis. The x-axis range is 0 to 1. So what it does is it starts from 0, goes all the way up to 1, and again comes back to 0 and goes all the way up to 1 again. So it repeats this range continuously. That's what wrap is doing. For example, we can repeat this from 0.3 to 1. Now it starts from 0.3 and goes all the way up to 1 along the x-axis. So in the same way, we can do that in y-axis as well. So I can start with 0 in the y-axis and go all the way up to 0.9, as you can see there. So this is a quick way to tile things. Yes. Let's see. There is this values again, right? I told you, right? So 0.5 and 0.866. It's really easy to remember this. Just remember, or else you can just think it as square root of 3 by 2. So SQRT of 3 by 2. And that's it. And this should be 0.5 and 0.5. Is it correct? Oh, this is minus 0.5, sorry. So negative 0.5 to positive 0.5. So that's what's happening here. Negative 0.5 to positive 0.5. And minus 8.66, which is here to here. So this one is basically repeating along the x-axis and the y-axis. Oh, Sebi, unfortunately, I'm not good at geometry nodes because I only used it very little. I'm not really sure what I can what the answer of that would be. You can ask in our Discord server. Like me and Erin run the Discord server together. The link is in the description. You can basically go to the help channel, or else just tag Erin. Hopefully he will be there to help you out. So now I have this. So let's just do something. Let's just connect this one to this one. No, technically, can I do that? No, I think I can, but not here. Okay, let's so what I just did is take this and connect this here. It should kind of look correct. Does it? I just lost it. I don't know why I lost it. Oh god. Yep. Let me connect this one here and connect this one there. Now, instead of the actual gradient, I'm giving this one as a gradient. So now you can see it is styled finally. So there you go. Isn't that good? See, that's what I'm talking about. So now we need this offset, right? This is exactly along the x-axis. The x-axis offset is just 0.5. So all you have to do is just Control Shift D this and translate this. You can use a mapping node to just move it by 0.5 along the x-axis. Now you have the other coordinates, except you could either duplicate the whole thing, you know, like this, and connect this one here. Look at that, it's exactly there. But you also need to like shift it down. So just to visualize the whole thing properly, let me just combine these two. You could use a maximum to combine two gradients and take the maximum out of it. Hopefully. There you go. And as I said, the magic number is 0.866. Let's just give it there. So this is one way to, like, you know, tile. I mean, the only problem is you have to duplicate the whole thing twice. Instead of that, we can just make a hexagonal grid right there. This is just one way. This is the most laziest way possible. So let me just do it properly. The proper way of doing this would be taking a vector math dot product again, or else you can just use a length, you know, and make a mask. Take a math node greater than, or maybe less than, yeah, whatever. This gives me this, you know, something like the gradient, like this gradient, but only where is it? Here, only the mask. So now I can basically use a mix RGB node as this one and connect the coordinate systems right here. Except I think I need to make it a 0, 0. Let's see. 0.5 should be the magic number, right? Or else I think I connected it reverse, yeah. So now I got the hexagonal grid. I can just basically do this once and everything lines up properly, even here. So I don't need to do an extra layer, so I can just delete everything here. So this is basically how you make an hexagonal grid. This is the most easiest way, to be honest. As I said, the link that I sent before, can do that in just 6 nodes. So that's crazy, right? Now comes the most interesting part, displacement. Oh yeah, I like to organize the nodes, but then I don't really like the curved noodles anymore, so I'm just going to make them straight. So just give me a second. uh, Themes, node editor, nodal strength to 0. Yep, there you go. Okay, let's just make this pretty by organizing everything like a good boy. Nice. I generally keep my notes really clean. Don't judge me today. So let's also just use 1, and let's make this set by 7 times. So this is pretty good amount to visualize everything. So let's just connect a displacement node and not vector displacement. Not gonna touch this vector displacement stuff this year at all. There's no point because it's no use of using that. So are you guys able to like follow? Is everything okay? So I connected the height. You can't see nothing is there. That's because we're in EV. Now you can see everything except it's all very stretched. So let's decrease the scale to something very reasonable like this. And probably, I think mid-level is fine. Except as you can see, it's very sharp. We can do this in 2 ways. I'll be using a mix RGB node and changing this to color dodge and color burn. This one I learned from Aaron, this technique. Change this to 0 to basically reduce the, you know, the size, but keep the height constant. And you can use color dodge to basically control the bevel width, I would say. Like, but you have to make sure that everything is pure white. I don't like to go all the way up, so I'll go with 0.997. You can still see that there is, the hexagonal grid, but it's barely visible. So I can come down, obviously. To see this better, let's plug the principal BSDF. Okay. And the viewport has very bad dicing scales. So let me just go to subdivision. Viewport is set to 8. I'll change it to 2. Now everything's very good. So the next thing, I don't really like the lighting, so let me just switch to HDRI. I'll just do this. Yeah, this is better. This is a lot better to visualize. Okay, let's start from here. As we know, we already have this gradient, right? So I can technically disconnect this, invert this gradient using this node or either another math node. Subtract. So I can use this one for the stem of the honeycomb, like the walls, and inside here I'll use this gradient to basically get that cup looking shape. I think let's just try both of them. So I think this one needs to have good displacement, so I'll connect this one first. And let's just look at the displacement. Oh, that's pretty neat, except it's a lot, strong. I mean, you have all the seams, but I think it's fine. Also, let me decrease the strength a little bit or change the HDRIs. Which one is better? I never played with this HDRS before, so okay, this is pretty nice. You can see that the edges are bad, but when we let me just place a camera here, Control Alt 0, and let's just quickly render this. Honest, no, better not. Let me not do that. Yep. Okay. So I have this gradient, and now I have the previous gradient. So let me just take a math node, subtract this, and combine this with a maximum. Always combine heights with maximum because it takes the maximum of two things and it always gives you good results. Now you can see that we have that little tiny dip right there. Hopefully it's visible. I should probably use a denoise, so let me just go to, hopefully it doesn't crash. Let me just save this before everything goes to downhill. Save the blend file. Pretty good. Yeah, it will probably work, honestly, but I'm not really good at geonodes. I don't want to touch it. Except let me just do a divide here so everything is properly lined. You can see the sharp corners here. Pretty good, pretty good. Except I don't really like being this strong here, so what I'll do is I will or else should we use a circle instead, because we already have the, we have this. I can do a length vector math. I could use this gradient instead for instead of this one. Probably that's a good idea. Yep, this is actually a good idea. Let me just like this, because these are circles. This would look a lot better in my opinion. Oh yeah, for sure, no doubt. Look at that. Let's also invert this. There, yeah. Somewhere right there, the cupping looks good. Don't you think? Yes, look at that. Except obviously we'll be looking what to do here. So yeah. Okay. This should probably work. I don't know. We'll see, but we could use a curve right after this. RGB curve. Probably I think I should use it before. And make it more rounded. Or probably more. I don't know. I'll think about this later. Maybe I'll just start shading. Probably. Wait a minute. Ooh, wait. I have a very weird idea. Not sure it's gonna work. Mix. No, this. Smooth maximum. Let's just test this one out. Oh yeah, this works. So technically this should also work. So I'm just gonna connect this and remove this. me just bring this up. Okay, I'll think about this later for sure. There's nothing I can do now. Okay. Okay. This a little bit more up. Yep. Okay, I think this is it mostly. So let me just start giving some colors. Before that, I can use the same maximum node and change this to greater than to get a perfect mask. So I can use this to basically color stuff. So I'll just put it there. And first use a base color and probably use something. No, not here. Here. Something more yellowish like that. What do you guys think? Oh yeah, RGB colors would work, then must know me. And for this one, let's go with the dark. Yeah, don't you think that's the color of it? Yeah, it should work, probably. If not, we'll get to know. Let's just render this one once in the paper. I'll look into the gradient inside later, but we'll just focus on this one now. The shader. This is the hard stuff for me, to be honest. Like, I really don't like creating actual materials. I only like to create displacement maps. So let's try. This one for sure has subsurface scattering. Oh yeah, that actually works pretty well. Except everything is very straight, so I don't really think anything would be this straight. One easy way to is using a noise texture and plugging actual coordinates to that and decreasing the scale obviously to somewhere very small and use it in color dodge. Maybe I think in the subtract. Yeah, in the subtract, sorry. And just multiply it down with a very low value. So now you can see it's not, that straight. It's a little bit wonky here and there. This adds a little bit more realism, don't you think? Yeah, it does. So now when you look at this, there you go. This looks more realistic. Like, it's not very rigidly straight. Let's notice. What is that called? Control B? Yeah. Just looking at the material. For sure it needs some bump. So what I'll do is I'll add another noise texture. And plug this to bump map, I think. So let's should I do bump map or shall I use actual displacement? I mean, I could use displacement, but the thing is it's not that worth the computation. So maybe bump map is better. After this I need to like transfer this onto a sphere, so that should be fun. Okay, let's look at the bump map. Let's increase the scale. I don't let's not consider the actual the whole thing, but let's only think about the edges. Let's add more bump to this. What do you guys think? This is pretty much good. I actually like it. So technically I'm going to stop this one here and let's concentrate on the actual, what is this called? The honey, because that's the most sweetest part. Is it lagging? Because it actually says my internet is a little bit bad now. Just let me know what you guys think, because I have no idea. I have no clue. So let's look at it from here. And let's duplicate the principal shader and let's create the honey shader. This is a little hard and easy at the same time. So there's no subsurface scattering. It's all going to be transmission, and it's going to have a little bit of color. I don't think so. Let's do that with volumes, probably. Volumes. And decrease the roughness all the way down. And increase the density. Change the color. All this stuff doesn't work because this is actually not, there's no volume here. It's just a plane. So probably this is the this could be the best time to actually shift to a sphere. So let's delete the plane and let's add a round sphere. Like, let's add a UV sphere, why not? And this is fine. Control 3 to add some subdivisions and adaptive subdivisions. Let's also, I think this is fine. Let's go to the UV editor. Just make sure to stretch this one along the x-axis by 2. X twice. Now this is perfect. This will work. Let's look at it. Let's give it Nodevember thing. There you go. With this and with the front view, Control Alt 0, camera. That's perfect, isn't it? Okay, let's do some quick camera setup. Okay, I'm actually concerned because it is for sure saying the video is not doing good. Let me know, guys. Honestly, I have no clue. Okay, the reason why I scaled the UV coordinates by 2 is because if I don't scale it by 2, for example, let's x 0.5, let's get it back. You can see it is stretched, right? The UV coordinates is stretched, and I'm actually using the UV coordinates here. So that is the reason why it is doing that. Or else we can just, scale it here using a multiply node and scaling the x-axis by 2 and this one by 1 and z-axis by 0. See, this does the same thing, but it's more easier to do that in the UV coordinates because setting up UVs is the best thing you can do all the time, right? So that is something. Now let's do some really quick resolution stuff. Let's do 1080 by 1080 and let's increase the focal length camera to, let's say, 70 millimeters is good. We'll change the lighting later for sure, because right now the lighting is HDR, right? So this is how it looks by default now. We'll look into that later for sure. And is there anything else that I want to add here? Probably good lighting. Let's go to the lighting setup. So one good technique that I learned in the recent times is just using area lamps instead of point lights. Area lights are the way to go. Let's just increase this all the way to maybe 500. You might ask why. I'll let you know. Just, it's going to be the rim light. Rim light is always the brightest for some reason. I know, I have no idea. And let's duplicate it and rotate it towards here, probably, and decrease the scale and move it up. And let us make this 350. Okay, not bad. I mean, if I can see everything, that's all it needs. Let's also add the fill light. Should I do that? No? Okay, why not? Let's do that. Text said somewhere there. Put it right there. And I always like to put it a little bit down. And decrease the intensity by quite a lot. Now this is a good time to actually increase this to 500 and see if this still stands out. Very good. Yes, this is my basic lighting for now. And let's turn off the world settings. Now let's just focus on the other stuff, which is the honeycomb. So let's just look at honey, and this is still bad. No idea why. Is it? I need to make this full up. Transmission is at 1. Maybe. Okay, it's volume scatter. It should be volume. This is sweet. I need to find a way why this is not working. Does it actually matter? Okay. Okay. This is not how it's supposed to look. Okay. The honey is probably this color. Yeah, I kind of like this color. Um, Let me quickly do something different and delete the principal shader. I mean, quite literally delete, and add another one. Just look at this. Why not? Why not? Yeah. And decrease the roughness all the way up to 0 and increase the transmission all the way up to 1. Oh, no, not the transmission roughness, transmission. And I'm pretty sure there is an issue here. Let's see. Or else if I just leave it at white, what will happen? Interesting. Probably I should play with. Any idea how to make honey shader? Generally I use volumes, but that doesn't seem to work today. Yeah, there is for sure a problem here. Look at this, look at this. Okay, I think it's quite clear that there is an issue with Blender itself. It was black before, now it is working all of a sudden. No clue. Oh yes, got it, got it. What? No. I think I can't go beyond 50% because after that it's literally, look at this. I'm just changing the color. It's giving random results. I don't really like it. I think it's a bug. Probably Magna. I'm pretty sure it has existential crisis. Um, I'm just going to play around with this a bit and see why it is not working. Right. Oh god. Okay, I'm just gonna delete volume absorption and try volume scatter again. Except this time, weighting density. Good, good. And go towards the other side to get what I want. Yes, this is giving me more like what I want, so I'll just be using this one for now then. Except this is really slow, so should I turn on denoising? Or maybe I should just probably add more light bounces. So I'll just add 2 more and try rendering this once. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Let's go to the rendered view. Because I'm not getting the results properly. I really like the edges though. I just need to know how the volume looks so I can change the colors later. This is bad. I thought cycles X should be faster. Apparently not with volumes. Okay, let's figure this out. Is it anisotropic? Okay, let's also try denoising. I can't wait. Let's go to optics, not the render, sorry. In the viewport. Optics. Please work. Yeah, it is working. Okay, let's go all the way up there. Oh, yes. It's kind of working. Look at that. That's what I wanted. So it is volume scatter. It's not volume absorption. That's pretty neat. Nice, nice. And probably I'll just increase the roughness a little bit because nothing is purely white. So I think this foggy looking stuff is because of the reflections, and yeah, look at that. That doesn't look good, right? Let's also increase the viewport samples to, let's just put it to 0. so we can get continuous feedback. We'll just wait for a bit, you know. I'm pretty sure I can figure this out sometime soon. Let me just have a chat with the chat. So, how are you guys working on this stuff? Like, have you guys tried out working on shader nodes for Nodevember? Okay, it stopped rendering. I have no idea why, but it did. Let me give it 10,000 samples. Okay, it is 10,000 samples. I think the limit is 4,096. And also maybe I can decrease this to 10 and see if that helps. Okay, we are getting something cool. 50, still cloggy. 70. How about if I change the actual color to something else? Okay, there you go. That is something. I'm pretty sure I can just increase this. Okay, perfect. This is perfect, isn't it? Finally, it worked out. I was actually thinking, why is it not changing? That's because I have to change the base color as well. It's not just the volume scatter. This is pretty good. What do you guys think? Should I increase the roughness? It's more blurry, but I don't think the honey is blurry at all. So I think I'll just leave it at 0. Get it a little bit more shiny here and there. Oh, that's pretty nice. Yeah, you should probably try out GeoNodes because it's actually getting a lot of good traction and it's having really nice updates too. I haven't jumped in yet because I haven't found time for it, but for sure I will jump into GeoNodes soon. I'm already out of the loop, but yeah, that is something. Okay, look at this. It's a pretty small node tree for what I do all the time, but now we'll actually look into how to make this look better and do some final bit of post-processing later once everything is done. But for now, I'll just work on the crust. I don't know why I'm calling it crust. Maybe it looks like one. Probably I should multiply this height a little bit more or change this values a little bit more. Oh yeah, this is nice. Now let's only look at how to make these look less ugly. So this is kind of circular, but let's just multiply this with -5, I think. Look at that bubbly stuff. Yes, this is what I wanted. Now all I have to do is just drag this one down so everything fits inside the honeycomb. Ooh, juice. Okay, I just want to render this real quick because I do like this one a lot, how it looks. Oh God. Oh no. What have I done? It needs more samples for sure. Like, it'll take some time, but I just want to see how it's gonna look. Oh, I had no idea that we can't copy nodes from here to there. I mean, it should be possible, right? Like, technically it should, because the basic architecture of both of them are same. So now it's pretty concerning. I really wish it was not this way, but I'm actually liking this stuff a lot. I mean, obviously I'll decrease the the multiplication factor for sure. But don't you think? Wow. Yeah. This is nice. This is sweet. And also it doesn't look the same as it looks on the viewport, so I should probably work on that next. This should always be inside it, so okay, let's stop it here. With 500 samples, it still has a lot of noise, so I think probably the final render should render with 4096 samples plus denoising, I think. Volumes suck. I don't like them. Okay, let's multiply factor to something more lower, more reasonable. How about this? Kind of like that. -3 should be perfect. Yes, this is perfect. And I think I'll go with this one. What do you guys think? Yes. So, obviously this won't turn up in the render, the final render, so you don't have to worry about that. But I'm just worried about the lighting because I don't really like the lighting. It doesn't look good enough for my taste. So I might play with this a little bit more. Other than that, I think everything is perfect. I'll make it really small so I don't have to like um, think about it that much. Look at that, it's pretty cool. So let's go to the lighting section. I always like to make it as very small screen just to get the overall um, understanding of how that's gonna look. And probably rim light is not good here. Should I add a rim light? Yeah, it needs a rim light, but then not in that location. Probably I'll just do this something like, here in the background. Scale it up a little bit more so that you have that really nice curl here. I like this a lot. And probably increase the strength to 1000. Look at that. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, it does look squishy. I have no idea how I can remove these, lights in the thing. Please let me know if you know anything about that. But other than that, I think this looks really yummy. That looks really amazing. Maybe I can decrease the size, make it into the rectangle and decrease the size along here. Probably. Is it good? I kind of like the instant feedback, but it's quite I have to judge it a lot. I don't know. I don't really like these reflections. Hopefully it can be removed. Visibility. I think I should just remove the glossy. And I think this is the one. Yeah, there you go. It removes the whole effect. But I think that's what adds more realism, right? Now it's just what basic shader nodes, I think. Let's just make it a little bit more brighter. Yeah, I like this one. I mean, I'm gonna add them back, but just wanna know how it's gonna look. And also increase this. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's render this with high sample count and everything. Go to, where is it? Film, right? Yeah, transparent. And let's try playing with the specular ones just to confirm. Before that, we have to adjust the lights. So let's go to object, glossy. glossy. Glossy is already there. So, and I might be wrong, but I think I can play with the specular. Nope. Even with 0 specular. Wait a second. That's not what I'm supposed to do here, right? The specular is at 1. Even if I remove the whole specular, there is no effect. I think it comes from the roughness, because roughness is going to blur the stuff like that. So it's not the specular. But anyway, I think it's better if I use a clear coat. I mean, clear coat is going to add that little bit of layer to it, and also if I decrease roughness. But it doesn't work with, clear coat is mostly for metals, so there's no point using transmission and clear coat on top. So I'll just add a little bit of more roughness, because I'm pretty sure like nothing is completely pure. And as I said, I can't use noise texture for adding the bump. I should use object coordinates. Technically it should use generated, but let's try out object coordinates. Texture coordinates. That should remove the stretching, hopefully. If that's not removing the stretching, then it's probably because of the displacement. I think I'll decrease the roughness a little bit more to 0.69. Why not? 0.69. Perfect. That's nice. Okay. The stretching could be in the displacement, so this is fine. So let's go to final render. I think it's fine to have that specular as well, because it adds realism. This looks too bland. Yeah, for sure. It needs some highlights. Bright front highlights kind of help selling the honey effect more. Yeah, I think it does. Probably I should use, yeah, Fresnel for sure. Fresnel is a good thing. Let's just say, like, I'll do the compositing and then maybe come back to it in the final renders. It's already 2 a.m. for me, so it's pretty late. I have to cut down the stream. So let's wait for the render to get over. I'll have a conversation with you guys. So in compositing, let me just start writing what all I want to do. Probably I'll add a little bit of glare. And add a background, BG, and add, what is it called? Lens distortion, why not? Yeah. Vignette. These are the only things. Lens distortion plus dispersion in the background. I think dispersion is not required. Or is it? Maybe it's required. I don't know. Okay, it's done. It's really noisy even with 1000 samples. That's really upsetting. But I think we'll work with it. Let's denoise and connect the denoising normal and denoising albedo. Yeah, I like it. Look at that. It's beautiful. Okay, let's continue. Let's also, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to, like, add cracks and stuff later on for this, but I just want to like try out some compositing to get the final look. Ellipse mask and change this to 0.5 and 0.5. This is a cool way to add a gradient, so I think I'll go with this one and add a blur node. Change this to fast Gaussian, relative, up to 45 is good. So now I have a really nice gradient, which is not so linear, but I could do a color ramp and also map range this. Actually, no need. I think color ramp is more than enough. Let's add some pretty good colors. I think I'll go with, oh, this is nice. Let's just do some alpha overlay. This should be on top, I think. Nah. Why does it not work? Okay, I'm not looking at the viewer, unfortunately. Okay, let's reverse this. There you go. Ooh, cool. Let's zoom out. Zoom out, zoom out. That is sweet. Wow. I didn't expect this to look this good with these colors, but we can always play with, you know, the colors for sure. So let's try different other backgrounds. Why not? Let's go a little bit more, I don't know, this one. More darker pink. Why not? I like this one too. Okay, I like this little glow in the background, as you can see there. Yeah, that is pretty sweet. Let's try green. Green doesn't look nice. This cyan. Ooh. You guys choose a color, I think. Yeah, I leave it to the chat. Tell me something. Like, tell me a color. I'm gonna do it. I'm looking at the chat, so I can't see much on the screen for sure. How about... Also, I think I should probably bring this one down a little, because look at that, the gap that is so uneven, and it's giving me... I just had a transform node right after here. Along the Y in the negative axis by 30. Perfect. Now it's almost centered, so let's add a glare node and change this to... I always like fog glow, but I mean, technically fog glow is the best glow, right? And let's send it to high. Okay, I see a problem here. The problem is I don't like it, so I'm just not gonna use it. What is the other one? Glare is done because I don't need this. Background done. Lens distortion, I could try that some. Vignette is already done because, you know, the gradient adds it automatically. Pink and green, okay, let me try that. Pink, it's lovely. How about baby pink? A little bit more lighter. Not that light, but you know, somewhere there. Huh. Okay, let's look at this one. This is one, and the other one is green, right? I don't like green, honestly. I don't really like green on this background because the hues are really close to each other. See, green and, you know, the whole alone thing. So it kind of doesn't fit there. At least there should be some complementary colors. I kind of like this one too. This is like what, a very dull green. Okay, there are 3 color choices. We'll finalize one by the end, I think. For now, I think I really like the blues. But by the end, I'm going to choose from one of these 2 colors. So let's add some distortion. For that, let's add a lens distortion node. Just give me a second. Okay. Let's add, I'll do the fit method, and let's add not 0.1, that's too much. See, look at that. It's just going to make it very bulgy. 0.02 is good. And also, I have a guest here. Hello,
Hello.
Curtis. Hi. It's good to have you
Hi.
here.
Good. How's it been going, by the way, the whole stream? I watched a bit at the beginning, but I
Okay.
had to hop off.
Let me know what you think of the result. Like, it's almost done.
I'm really loving the kind of like glossy, embossed, slightly extruded kind of central bits. Like, it
Yeah,
looks kind
yeah,
of tasty.
yeah, yeah.
I like it very much.
I mean, I- right? It's been really long time since I streamed, so I'm a
Yeah.
little bit nervous for no reason.
Well, it's only natural, right? I mean,
Yeah,
when was the last time you put up a video as well? Let me check.
damn it. I hate
4
you.
months. 4 months. I need
No,
to.
I'm for sure I'm going to upload one soon. Let's say, give me a date, not tomorrow, but yeah.
The day after tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Day after
Nah,
tomorrow, we'll have a
the
video.
end of the end of November.
Yeah, I think that would be a really nice time for me too, because I'll have, I mean, I think that's the best time for me too. So I'll participate in November and do my course. I'll do Houdini
Yeah.
for a while, probably. But
Yep.
this is the result I got from, Blender. There's a Houdini version, right? So let me
Yes.
also pull that up real quick. Look at how noisy it is, Curtis.
Well, there might be a bit of a delay because I'm looking at it on
Yeah.
the stream.
So this is the Houdini version. You'll see it. You'll see it. You'll get there.
Yeah. I'm not there yet.
No worries.
But is this the one that you showed me earlier? Or is this a different one?
Yeah, the same one, but with a little bit more
Ah, right.
compositing.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. But I really don't like what's happening here. I mean, you'll see. But yeah.
Ah, there we go. It finally popped up. Yeah.
Yes.
God, that's quite a long delay. But yeah. You've always been very good with these patterns.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I
you have a
I
natural affinity for repeating patterns.
Yes, I do. And that's exactly why I made Tilekit. If you want to check that out, link is in the description. Shameless
Oh,
plug. I'm sorry.
yeah. Well, it's your channel. You can plug it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh wow. So and then there is this pink. Okay, tell me, okay? There is three color choices that I have. One is the blue, one is pink, one is green, and you'll see it. We'll fix one for the final render.
Right, okay. I'm gonna have to wait a bit for it to
Yeah,
happen. Unless
there's like 20
unless you
second
send me like a
delay.
screenshot. Yeah, let's send me a screenshot on Discord.
Yeah,
That'll be faster. Sorry,
okay.
I'll wait, we'll chill.
Yeah, we'll just wait because if I don't want to mess with the internet connection. You know how good my internet is, right?
Okay. Yeah, alright, I see the pink.
Yeah,
That's come through. Let me have a look.
and then the
Got the
green.
green coming in.
Yeah, and I'll
To be
send you.
honest,
Yeah,
I think blue probably better. It's just a bit more neutral for it. But no, the
yeah,
green's pretty nice as well. I don't know. I think blue or green.
blue or green. Even the chat said green, so I think I'll go with green. Okay.
Yeah, they both
Yeah.
work.
Okay, I'm just going to like save this picture and post it. Okay, let's
Marvelous.
go to the viewer node. I rendered it in 1080, so probably I'll do a 2K render later on for the final version. But this been really fun, like streaming again after a long time.
Yeah, good. And it helps you stay focused as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does,
Like,
honestly.
yeah.
I mean, I have this like there are like few people watching me now while I'm doing it, right? So I have that push, like I have to do something. I just don't want to look at the screen or stare at the screen for a long time. I always do that.
Yeah.
Like I know what I want to do, but then I just don't do it because I'll just think what will happen if I do it. So I'll keep
Yep.
imagining, and that's what's gonna happen. Pretty
That is
good.
something I found as well. Like when sometime well, I experimented at one point just like recording absolutely everything I did.
Okay.
And I did notice that I was less likely to like be distracted by Reddit because I knew that even just subconsciously there was a recording going on, like
Y-
even if I never use it.
Yeah.
Um
Like, don't you
so
think
yeah,
you spend a lot of time on Reddit?
I do.
Yeah. You should probably cut
Oh,
that out and put out more videos for us, please.
well, yeah, I'm waiting. Oh, there is a video that was ready to go on Friday, but
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the sponsors to approve it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that can take a little while.
I mean,
So I've just
the
been working
videos
on
are
Bygen.
amazing though.
Oh, thank you.
And the Python
It's very nice.
updates, honestly, guys, you should check that out. Real, like this is literally amazing.
Yes, lovely, interesting stuff going on.
Yes, yes, for sure.
Thanks to geometry nodes.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'll stop the stream here, you know. It's been really good, guys. Like, happy to have you all here. Um, I'll s- I'll probably stream soon, maybe in a couple of days, with a little bit more prepared, and because I don't have my second PC now, so I can't look into the chat continuously. Probably I'll do some setup for that. And thanks, Curtis, for joining. It's been
That's
amazing to have you
okay.
here.
Yeah, it's nice to have you stream again.
Yes, yes, thank you. Okay
Yeah.
then. Bye. Bye. Bye,
Bye bye.
guys.